a great supporter of Reverend King. I stood as close to him as you and I are now once at a benefit called Broadway Answers Selma. I was in New York at the time, and we did a benefit where everybody on Broadway came together in the spring of 1965. And the funds, the proceeds went to the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and the widow of Reverend James Reeb, who was a Boston minister, went down to, as a white man, it was very unusual to join the march and so on. And Reverend King came to the event, which was astonishing. We didn't know he was coming. It was a big secret. And he came backstage in the second act to say goodbye to Sammy Davis, who was the host of the event. And Sammy was on stage singing, and I was backstage helping some of the older people find chairs in the dark. And there's this presence next to me, and I looked, and it was Reverend King. And I was astonished at how small he was. I was looking over the top of his head, and I was embarrassed, and I kind of went like this. I said, "No, you mustn't look over his head. He's 8 feet tall." And I was embarrassed to bother him. I didn't get the blessing. There was a great conflict inside me. Get the blessing, get the blessing. No, don't bother him. People are bothering him all the time. And he just stood there waiting, very calm. No bodyguards, nobody around him. And I didn't get the blessing, which I regret to this day. I was just in his presence, and that was in 65. He died because he was murdered in 68. And I always felt badly that I didn't have the courage to just thank him for what he was doing for all of us. And
so, we loved you in the film.
You did. I was a tiny little part.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you.
You want to get involved for your own sake, because that is how you are able to become yourself and win your freedom. You know, Bobby Kennedy once said, and it's my favorite quote, "One heart with courage is a majority." And I think Reverend King would agree with that. He was, in my lifetime and in my young adult life, that great surge of courage in our society. And he paid a dear price, but he made it possible for all of us to see into the future with his light. So we're grateful, and we remember him this day and honor him and encourage people to follow his example. Thank you.
Hello, my name is David Oyelewo. I play Dr. King in the film Selma, and you can hear more on the Renaissance Foundation.
Why do you think it's important that young people learn about MLK's message 50 years after he won the Nobel Peace Prize?
I think to really examine his life and the fact that certain privileges we now enjoy were fought for and won under his leadership. For instance, the vote being something we show in the film Selma, and how that was wrested back from people whom it was being denied to in the South, in the southern states of America. And the fact that young people, when they are of age, if they take that for granted, they are actually diminishing their power to contribute to society, their power to have their voice heard. And I think, well, I know Dr. King thought of the vote as a hugely powerful tool to make voiceless people have a voice. And so that's at least one of the things I hope young people will prioritize after looking at the film Selma and indeed looking at his life.
Hi, my name is Ava DuVernay. I'm the director of the film Selma, and you can hear more about me and the film at the Renaissance Foundation.
So we went to Oslo this year.
Oh, wow.
We go every year. And we took...
Wow, did you recognize it in the movie?
Yeah.
It looks better here, but we tried our best. Wow, that's awesome. That's you.
Yep.
Where are you?
Oh, I wasn't in... I didn't get to go.
Where are you? Were you in there?
He took the picture.
Oh, I see you. I see you and I see you. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Really? It's for me? Oh, thank you.
I thought you'd like
That's
it.
really great.
I also thought you might like a picture.
I love it. Oh, I love
the stickers.
the sticker?
If you want a smaller one, slightly smaller one.
You have to put it on because we're going to show it
Okay.
to people as possible. That'll be really funny.
We
How
have
do I
them all
put
on
it
like the
on?
back of our phones and stuff. So we'll grab that for you.
Put it on?
Nails.
We were so inspired at the beginning of the film when we saw that part and we had our...
Yeah, you're like, we stood there. That's awesome.
That's wild.
Okay, good.
Great. I think you sit right back.
really not just look up to, but really look at eye level. I think that's what we try to do in Selma.
Right? I mean, it sometimes can be intimidating to go ask someone in a position of power for help, and you should absolutely do that. But I think just asking